as the second impeachment trial of Donald Trump enters another day and another phase. House managers rested their case yesterday, and the defense team for the former president will take center stage in just a few hours. So on the Senate floor yesterday, House managers showed statements from rioters who claimed that they took their lead from the former president when they stormed the Capitol. And they closed last night with a warning that Donald Trump is a clear and present danger to U.S. democracy. Debra Alfarone is on Capitol Hill. Debra, the House managers have been pretty strong throughout this whole thing, and they closed on a rather strong note as well yesterday.
Absolutely, Anne-Marie. It's been strong throughout and really helped by video evidence. But they said if former President Donald Trump was not convicted and barred from holding office, they believe that he would continue to incite violence. And they actually tied the insurrection to the former president, using the words of the insurrectionists themselves, who said they were in this building at his invitation and they were just following him.
We humbly ask you to convict.
House managers concluded their arguments in the impeachment trial of former President Trump with a warning.
Is there any political leader in this room who believes that if he is ever allowed by the Senate to get back into the Oval Office, Donald Trump would stop inciting violence to get his way? Would you bet the lives of more police officers on that?
On Thursday, Democrats showed how Mr. Trump's supporters were inspired by his rhetoric when they stormed the U.S. Capitol.
I thought I was following my president. I thought I was following what we were called to do.
In that powder keg that he had created, he struck a match, and he aimed it straight at this building.
Mr. Trump's lawyers now have up to 16 hours over 2 days to present their defense, but they say they'll only need a few hours to rebut the Democrats' case.
The evidence they have, and under no circumstances, would make out a case for incitement.
Today, the defense is expected to argue that it's too late to convict Mr. Trump now that he's out of office, and will also use some of his own words on January 6th.
To peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
Louisiana Republican Bill Cassidy says the former president's team does need to answer some questions.
If one of the charges is that you should have called out people and you didn't, even though it was clear that the police officers were under assault, please explain that.
If the defense rests today, the final vote could come this weekend.
And the prosecution has a huge mountain to climb, trying to convince 17 Republicans to vote to convict. You know, we've been talking about this all week, Anne-Marie, and it doesn't look like it's likely, but there are some people who are kind of on the fence. We're going to have to wait and see. But again, 17 is a huge number.
It's a big number. Only a handful voted to move forward, saying that this process was constitutional. Some people are keeping an eye out on senators that are planning to retire. We'll see. But it seems like when it comes to the president's lawyers, their approach is going to be less is more, because the expectation is they will not be eating up anywhere near as much time as the House managers did.
Yeah, absolutely, like 3 or 4 hours or so, they say. That's all they really need to lay out their defense. And then what happens after that, that brings us to today, obviously, later today. And then there's going to be questions and answers, lots of questions that they'll have for, the jurors will have for either side, the jurors being the senators. That's about 4 hours. And then we go to the question of, will there be witnesses? And so that's another 2 hours, and then we go to closing arguments and the vote. I mean, it's probably going to be wrapped up by this weekend, maybe by Monday. But today, it's going to be quick. I am looking forward to seeing what they're going to present today.
Yeah, definitely. Debra, thank you so much.